Islam is probably the most like feminist, most religion there is, like very much protective of
Yes, it
women
is
and whatnot.
certainly Middle Eastern countries that are most well known for their feminism and freedom for women.
It is.
The Middle East.
If they're practicing Islam, yes.
So you're saying they're all practicing it incorrectly everywhere, including Mecca?
I mean, if they're oppressing people, of course, yeah.
Then they're doing it correctly?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't live there. So.
Listen, I wasn't even trying to talk, Islam. I was just trying to go off of your engagements, and I didn't know you converted. But I mean, to say that the Middle East is the most feminist part of the world is curious.
Well, she didn't say the Middle East is the most feminist.
She did.
No, she said Islam.
Of which the Middle East is the home of. I mean, Indonesia is the most populated Muslim country, obviously, but, you know, the core, where it spread from in their colonization efforts, was from the Middle East.
Colonization efforts?
Well, all religions colonize, absolutely. This is one of the more recent ones.
I mean, Indonesia and even the Philippines at one point, I mean, that was by Muslim traders, right? They just went over there.
Yeah, sure, but when you pushed into Africa, and especially Spain.
Yeah, okay, yeah, there was an empire. There was an empire, all right.
There was an empire, and the Christians did it back. All bad. Not a big crusade guy. I don't really like killing in the name of religion, either way.
No, yeah.
But you're telling me women are more free in Islam than any other religion?
I mean, I feel like.
Listen, I'm converted to Islam. I don't care. Islam's fine. I don't have a problem with Islam as a whole. But when you come here and you say it is the best religion, most feminist religion for women, you're gonna lose me here based on everything we see in the literal world.
I mean,
with the most theocratic regimes being Islamic right now, with the least freedoms for women and most violence against women than any other countries.
I think that's all because of media portrayal. I don't genuinely believe that's the type of...
What?
Yes, it's media.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the fact that they are portraying these countries in a certain light. And that,
so when women had a lot of freedom under an oppressive regime that was Western focused, dictatorship in Iran, don't get me wrong, not perfect, not purely defending Western, or Christian, or anti-Muslim. That's not what I'm doing here. But when they had that, women could go to school, women could work, women could go outside without wearing the outfit.
You're talking about Iran?
Iran, yeah, Iran.
So women don't work or go to school there? Check your facts, Caleb.
You think they have the same freedoms they had before it became a theocratic regime?
Well, by freedom, what is your definite? That women can go out naked or what?
Naked? How about just not wearing the outfit without getting beaten and
locked up? They get beaten and locked up if they don't wear it?
The morality police? Yes.
Oh, okay.
What? Yes. Again, this is not an anti-Muslim thing I'm talking about. But when you are going to come here, I'm sorry, this conversation is derailed out of the gate. Usually it derails a little further and say it's the most feminist. That goes against everything that everyone can see with their eyes right now in all countries. In Saudi Arabia, they just got the right to drive a couple of years ago. A literal couple of years ago. You would be beat in Iran if you took the scarf off.
No, I mean...
What, you get beat in San Diego? Is that what you were about to say? I don't think that's the case. I don't think the American government has officers around beating you for not wearing certain things.
Not necessarily in that regard, but...
Not at all in that regard, actually.
I think what she's saying is the media had a certain portrayal. No. The media had a certain portrayal.
What was that portrayal?
And then she met me, what you're saying right now. And then she met me.
Well, but what I'm saying is true in those cultures, in the theocratic regimes.
Yeah, those cultures, but not Muslims. Here's the thing.
I know you're
Muslims.
not. She's saying that culture is the most feminist, but those states that are led from Islamic principles are the least feminist states in the entire world.
Well, it depends on what you say about Islamic principles as well.
They say they're theocratic.
They can say all they want. That doesn't mean they actually do it.
The principles.
Okay, well, are we going to do the whole thing that Christians do with shellfish and a bunch of shit like that? Where we pick and choose what we like depending on our world values? Because you guys are more Western?
No, but here's the thing. This is what I'm going to say, okay? Because I think what she's trying to say is this. When we started...
Are you guys in debt?
We're in so much debt.
Okay, then you're not following Islamic principles.
That's true.
Then what the f are you going to tell me?
What am I going to tell you? What?
You're not following it then?
We do our best. It's not about just being perfect.
There it is.
Well, it is. You do the best you can. But
that's why you go further into debt? That's doing the best you can?
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
We're failing on that front.
I mean, I don't care that you reverted to Islam. I surround myself with people who have Islam. Like, we've had people that work here that are Muslim. I don't give a f about that. I don't really care. As long as you don't shove, just like Christian, as long as you're not shoving it down someone's throat, I don't give a f. But what you said about women is dangerous because women are being oppressed and killed. And as someone that actually wants freedom.
I, for the life of me, have no idea what this young lady is talking about. She doesn't know what she is talking about. Islam is the most feminist religion out there. Is she being serious? Now I get it. It sounds like these people live in America, so maybe it's not as oppressive of a religion here in the United States because of our laws. But when you look at every other place around the world where Islam is practiced, especially in these Middle Eastern countries, like this dude said, you know, the women over in Saudi Arabia just got the right to drive recently. Over in Iran, well, over in Afghanistan, the young ladies aren't allowed to go to school. You know, they're not allowed to, you know, get education, I believe, maybe past the 3rd or 4th grade or something along those lines. They can be married off as young as like elementary school age girls. You look at over in Iran, you know, if a young woman is not out with her hijab on or not without her hair covered, she could be beaten, she could be arrested, she could have acid thrown in her face. You know, her husband could beat the crap out of her, and you know, there's no protection at all. What is this young lady talking about? Oh my goodness. See, this is the problem right here. You have these people here in the United States of America that have never left the nation. They don't know anything outside of that little 10-mile radius that they grew up in. And they get out here and they say some of the most foolish things. Goodness gracious. And I would assume that these people also are liberals. They vote Democrat. It's the craziest thing ever.
I know 1619 was bad, but this is happening right now, right under your nose rings. And it's not just the clothes. 15 countries in the Middle East, including Gaza, have laws that require women to obey their husbands. Laws, not just Harrison Butker's opinion. And those societies also have guardianship laws, which means a woman needs permission from her husband to work, to travel, to leave the house, to go to school, to get medical attention. Nothing? Honor killings, where women are murdered by their own fathers and or brothers, happen so frequently they can't even have an accurate account of how many. In 59 countries, there are no laws against sexual harassment in the workplace, and many have no laws against domestic violence or spousal rape. 20 countries have marry your rapist laws. Multiple societies have laws about what jobs women can and can't do. Make a Barbie movie about that. 30 countries practice female genital mutilation, and 650 million women alive today were married as children. Kids, if you really want to change the world and not just tie up Monday morning traffic, this is the apartheid that desperately needs your attention. Gender apartheid. This is what should be the social justice issue of your time. How about from the river to the sea, every woman shall be free? But in...
Wow. Wow. He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. But for whatever reason, you don't get Greta Thunberg out there talking about this. Why? You don't get these, you know, radical feminists here in the country marching and protesting about this. Why? Makes you wonder.
You're a Democrat running possibly for the nomination.
For re-election as governor of Pennsylvania.
And you're Jewish.
Yeah.
And this is somehow maybe a complete deal breaker in the Democratic Party. I mean, the speed at which anti-Semitism has gone to a place where I never imagined it would go.
Yeah.
I mean, just this past week, bombings at synagogues in Toronto, Belgium, Michigan, the guy drove a truck with explosive into the largest synagogue in West Bloomfield. Norway, they arrested someone, suspicious behavior outside a synagogue. Rotterdam, in the Netherlands, synagogue. I see a pattern here.
Yeah.
And somehow it got to, and among the young people, anti-Semitism got to be kind of cool.
Yeah.
You think you could, if you did run for president, you could fight this and convince the Democratic Party that being Jewish isn't like the worst thing a person could be now?
So let me address both pieces, the anti-Semitism and sort of the politics of being Jewish, as you ask. When I ran for governor, the first ad that I put on TV was something to sort of show who I am, what motivates me to serve, which is family and faith. And the first ad was my family and I doing what we do nearly every Friday night, which was sitting around the Sabbath dinner table, having a meal together. We ran that ad despite a whole bunch of political consultants saying, hey, don't run that, they're gonna know you're Jewish. I'm like, I think they know I'm Jewish. But Bill, I share that with you because after we ran that, I'd show up in North Philly And folks would tell me about their iftar after Ramadan. They were excited to share that with me. I'd show up in rural communities where I might increase the Jewish population by 100% when I get there, and they tell me about what lunch is like after church on Sundays. The point I'm making is that I believe people are good and they are decent and they want to know who you are at a deep level. And when you are open with them, they're more apt to be open with you. I won that election, got more votes than anybody in the history of Pennsylvania running for governor, because I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of what motivates me to serve, and I'm proud of my faith.
That was a straight politician answer, but it was a legit question from Bill Maher, especially with everything that has transpired over the better part of, a year or so. When you look at what's going on, especially the vitriol and the attacks towards Christianity and towards Judaism. It's disturbing. It really is. And I understand, Shapiro, because he is running for re-election. He potentially could run for president within the Democrat Party. So I understand him not wanting to, acknowledge what's going on for fear of ostracizing some voters within the state of Pennsylvania. I get it. But I'm a firm believer that when people show you who they are, you really have to believe them. And the previous administration let so many people over here unvetted. We have enemies, within our borders. The enemy has crossed the line. And these people have shown themselves as being hostile to our way of life. Their goal isn't to come here and assimilate. Their goal is to come here and take over and then force upon us their way of life. And that is something that I am vehemently against. So I understand where Shapiro is coming from. I do. I get it. It was a politician answer. It was an answer based on politics and his want to run again for the governorship. But when you start thinking about just your average, regular American that may happen to be a Christian or that may happen to be Jewish, or that just may happen to be, atheist or agnostic, when you're dealing with a sect of people who in their religion, they believe that it's okay for them to lie to you in order for them to get their way if you don't believe what they believe. That, they can oppress women like it's nobody's business. That, their goal is to come in and not just assimilate, but to completely take over and force feed their religion and their way of life down your throats. And if you don't do so, they have the ability to take your life. That is a problem. And that is a society and that is a group of people that, in my opinion, doesn't mesh well with the average everyday American that just wants to do what needs to be done to provide and take care of their families. But I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts on any of this? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family, or you can buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below as well. And as always, keep God first, stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you guys next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, He gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, fear can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. And the Lord hit my chest, kicked death from my breath, put power in my step.